Hi guys, welcome to another video with Mel. Today I am doing a long overdue book review video. I have 19 books I need to review. I'm way behind on this. I seem to only do this when I've got about 20 books, so sorry. Some of them I got from the library. They've had to go back, so I'm going to show you a picture and talk about them from that. But I also have, if I can even lift it, this pile of books to go through as well. So there is plenty to talk about this time. So I'm going to start off with one that's pretty famous as a graphic novel, and that is Fun Home by Alison Bechdel. Hopefully you can see it. I know it's not coming up right on the screen there. This is a graphic novel about her family and the funeral home where she lived in, and mostly about her father. It is a very strange book. I didn't really enjoy it that much. It was okay. I made it through it, and I didn't think I was going to about halfway through it. It really is about her father and his kind of relationship with their family and it being very strained. She goes into a lot of detail about her father having all these affairs with young men, and also possibly killing himself at the end as well because he didn't want to be with his family anymore and his wife wanted to divorce him, and yeah. It goes into a lot about her relationship with her dad, which it seemed like a very strange relationship, and the whole living in a funeral home, which seems to have like shaped her quite a bit. As I said, this is one of those books that is huge in the graphic novel community, but I just wasn't into it. And those who don't know, Alison Bechdel is where you get the Bechdel test from. So having more than one, having women talk about more things than just men, and romance and that kind of stuff. So that's where that comes from. It was an interesting book to read, but really not my style at all. You guys know I like more upbeat things. I like happier things, and it just was not there for me. I don't mind memoirs as long as they're not boring. And unfortunately, this had some bits that I really wanted to just get through. It's never fun to read a book you just want to get through. All in all, I'd give it 2 out of 5 stars. It wasn't the best book I've ever read, but it wasn't the worst either. It was an average book, and I did struggle in places, so that's why it doesn't get a 3, but it wasn't a bad book, and you should check it out if you do like memoirs. I think you might like it. It is a bit of like a literary graphic novel. They don't come along very much, but I think that's definitely in that category if you wanted to put it in there. So yeah, that was Fun Home by Alison Bechdel. The other one I read, completely different, and that is Bitch Planet, Volume 1. I wasn't sure about reading Bitch Planet. I really wasn't. I've heard some good things about it. Still not really sure about reading more Bitch Planet, though. It's a really odd book. And it's about the society where they put women in prison pretty much for doing anything that men don't approve of. So, where women are like cast away if they are too big, too small. They offend men in any way, really. They speak their mind. They aren't a perfect, like, feminine species, like a 50s housewife. Anything like that, they get put away on Bitch Planet, which is a prison. They're not treated very well. The bits I liked most were the bits actually in the prison. I didn't like when they left the prison. They spent a lot of time leaving the prison to kind of like show us the society going on around us and like the reasons why these women were in prison. Like having these men talk about them. I hated those bits. I really like the prison bits though. So you may have one main character and she's a bit like sporty, and they end up doing this contest against the guards in the end. It turns out it's not going to be a fair contest. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to spoil too much about this book because I think it had some really good parts in it, and I think people should check it out. It is a very feminist book though, so if you don't like that, you will not like this book. Based on the title, you should have got that. But yeah, and it's like the tagline is, "Are you woman enough to survive?" And it's like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to go on and get to the next book in this series, but I might check it out. I do think it was worth a read, and it was worth going into that society and entering that world for a while, but I'm not sure if it's a world I'd want to revisit, really. So that was Bitch Planet. I think it was pretty good. If I was going to give that one a rating, I would give it a 3 out of 5. So it's good enough. It's an average book. It's not anything that blows me away. I don't need to buy the whole series. I don't need to start getting single issues. But if I saw the second trade, I would pick it up. So that's that. So that was Bitch Planet. Check it out if you like a bit of feminist graphic novels. It's got a lot of action in it as well, so it's great. Okay, the next thing I read, I didn't read the whole thing, so I'm not going to count it in my book list, but I'm going to show it to you guys anyway. I've been looking at the 500 essential graphic novels, and I've been looking for more things to read. I didn't read the whole thing. All I did is skim through it and like look for books that I might want. But I'm checking it out. I didn't find a whole lot, actually. This wasn't that great for it, because there wasn't kind of things like I like. You guys know, like I like my memoirs and I like my kind of female-focused graphic novels, but there wasn't a lot, and there was a lot of Marvel in this, so not that great. I'm going to be getting another one of these soon, so I'll be checking that out as well, but it's a good starting point. If you've never read a graphic novel before, there are some good recommendations in here, ones I've read already, but check out my channel, check out my other review videos for more good graphic novels, because that's mostly been reading this year, so lots of good stuff in that list. Okay. I think I'll do single issues first, and then I'll move on to trades, because there are a lot of trades. Okay. I'm mostly doing the books I didn't like the most first. Marvel Tsum Tsum #1. What can I say? I didn't expect a lot out of this, and I didn't get a lot out of this. Not great. The cover is really the best part of this graphic novel. And that's a really sad thing to say, because they could have done anything with this. But I don't even feel like I'd recommend this to a child, and I think it's aimed at children. I just don't feel like it was a good story, and I haven't picked up issue 2 because I just don't feel it's there. I don't feel the story is there, really. So the gist is, Tsum Tsums are aliens, okay? Tsum Tsums are aliens. I know, it makes no sense. Tsum Tsums are aliens, and they, like, are nearly taken by the Collector, but they fall out during a delivery, and they get on Earth, and they see the Marvel superheroes fighting, and they decide they want to look like Marvel superheroes. So really, if they'd seen a giraffe, they would have all decided to look like a giraffe. It makes no sense. It's bad. And then they all decide they want to be superheroes because they saw the Marvel superheroes and they gain powers and stuff, and these kids find them, and the kids are not likable. That's the other problem with it. So I'll show you our kids here. We've got Holly, who's our main character, Bert, and we've got Dunk Diggs. Not the greatest ones. I didn't like any of these kids. They just were so stereotyped. They were horrible children, really. They're just a stereotype. It's like, one's really smart, one likes adventure. It's just lots of kid stereotypes that you don't get into. And Dunk has a big brother that's mean to him, and it's like, oh my god, I'm just tired of this. It's just not great. I mean, they didn't make the girl character really girly, which I think is kind of a nice change, but I think that's mostly because this book is aimed at boys, so they didn't want to. This is what the Tsum Tsums look like when they're in their alien form. They're very cute. They look like Baymax. They should have just all been Baymax, because that would have been better. It's just random. And then you have the Marvel superheroes fighting a battle for reasons, just so the Tsum Tsums can see them and decide to be them and become heroes. It is really just not a good book, and the more I think about it, the more I don't like this book. And then you've got like a kind of evil guy living above him that wants to take advantage of the Tsum Tsums. And he like steals the Spider-Man Tsum Tsum, because you know Spider-Man is like the best Tsum Tsum of all. So like stealing Spider-Man, he's gonna do something evil with Spider-Man. I mean, you couldn't give him a villain to use. That would have been too good, but yeah. It just does not work as a comic. And I love Tsum Tsums. You know I love Tsum Tsums. But this is trash. It really is. It's trash. There's nothing good about it. I don't even want to give it a 1. I really don't even want to give it a 1. But that's my lowest rating, so 1 out of 5, I guess. It's not great. The best part in it has nothing to do with the Tsum Tsums as Rocket Raccoon and Groot at the beginning. That is the best part of the comic. They're in it for all of, like, I think it's 3 pages? Yeah, 3 pages. That's the best part of the comic. Don't pick it up. Don't touch it. Don't give Disney money for this because they'll make more. We don't want more. Don't give them money. Seriously, don't give them money for this. I want them to make more Tsum Tsums. Tsum Tsums are great. I want them to make more Marvel Tsum Tsums. I want them to make Squirrel Girl. But please, please do not let them make any more comics. Please, no more. No more. Next things I checked out were The Flash, number 4 Rebirth, and number 5 Rebirth. I'm struggling with Flash, guys. I've said this before. I'm not sure if I like The Flash or not. I kind of do, and I will stick with it because I like the twist at the end of number 5, but I just felt like in 4 and some of 5, the story was going nowhere, and so I was a bit disappointed that the story was going nowhere, but it seems to finally be picking up now. I'll rate them together because I think they all are one continuous story. I wouldn't say that The Flash Rebirth is my favorite comic at the moment, but I wouldn't say it's my least favorite either. I would probably give it a 3 out of 5. It's enjoyable to read. It's enjoyable to learn about a new character, but what it isn't is that exciting at the moment, and I'm hoping that will change. I think the twist at number 5 will help that quite a bit, so I am hoping it will go on and be a lot better. So, thanks for that. That's Chris blowing his nose, by the way. It's not me. I'm going to have to pause because I'm running out of battery. Okay, battery sorted, guys. So, let's move on to something better. Let's move on to something great. Giant Days. Number 17 and number 18. Continuing adventure of 3 teenagers at college. It is an awesome comic, guys. If you are not reading Giant Days, you are so missing out, and I encourage everybody to read this, especially if you are in England. You will like this comic, especially if you're female. It is about friendship. It is about helping each other out. It is a lovely story. The dialogue is great. It reminds me of Scott Pilgrim. If you enjoy Scott Pilgrim, you will enjoy this. The drawing style is wonderful. Really enjoy it. Sequences like this in it. It's just kind of out of this world, and it's just a fun comic. So between the two, I think I enjoyed, let me see. I think I enjoyed number 17 more than number 18. So number 17 is about mostly the girls kind of like doing their own thing for a while, really. So we've got Daisy kind of doing a dig because she's going to be an archaeologist and like being bullied by her professor a bit. And she's not sure about it. We've got Esther trying to earn some money, but it turns out she's doing something illegal, possibly. We find out more about on 18. But yeah, so got her doing that. And we've got Susan, who is actually stalking her ex. Which is also quite fun. Daisy gets a little bit involved in that, but Susan is just upset because she's lost her boyfriend and she wants him back, really, and she can't find any way to do that. But there's some panels really there. You can see what kind of comic this is like, and it is just fun. It is really, really fun, this comic. I also want to check out the Backstagers, which I'm told is kind of like this, so I might enjoy that. It's great back covers as well on these ones. So number 18 kind of centers around the girls getting ready to move on from their first year of college. They're going to be tearing down the old hall, and we have Esther trying to figure out if she did do something illegal in number 17, but hopefully she'll be okay. And we've just got more about the girls just kind of moving on with their lives and dealing with some adult problems, really. So it's quite a fun one. Not my favorite of all the Giant Days ones, but it's a good enough read, and it kept me entertained. Like I said, the dialogue in this is great, and you should really enjoy it. So, I'll give them a rating together because I think it's just one long narrative, really. And I would say you should definitely be picking this up. I'd give it a 4 out of 5 for both of them. I mean, I didn't like 18 as much as I normally like Giant Days, otherwise it would be a 5, but 4 out of 5. Great read. Great, like a holiday read, really. It's like, these are great to read in the summer. I read one of these on the plane. It was great to kind of zone out and get back into that nice universe of Giant Days. Okay. Next thing we have is Snot Girl number 2. I told you when I started I wasn't sure about Snot Girl. I'm liking it. I'm actually really liking it. And I hate the name still, but I like it. So yeah, so it has a main character named Lottie. She is pretty much a blogger, and she might have killed someone, possibly, at the end of number 1. So yeah. That was a bit of a shock. That made me read issue 2, though. Good job, Brian Lee O'Malley. You made me read issue 2. I'm interested. So she's kind of like stalking her ex-boyfriend to try and get back with him because she thinks his now girlfriend has copied her. So, yeah. But unfortunately, she is in trouble because they're finding out she might have murdered someone. Whoops. Didn't see that one coming. So I am interested in Snot Girl. I'm in for the ride for this one, I think. Looking forward to issue 3. Last time this was like the second comic I read that week for my pull list. I was really excited. So I think I read Squirrel Girl first and then this one. But yeah, this was on top of my read pile. And it still is. I'm looking forward to issue 3. Really looking forward to issue 3. Next thing we have is Howard the Duck number 9. Now, I don't always get Howard the Duck. I did really enjoy the trade I read, but this has Leah Thompson in it, and I had to buy it because it's Leah Thompson. Oh, by the way, Snot Girl, definitely 4 out of 5. Meant to say that. So, on Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck, number 9, Leah Thompson. I had to buy it. I have loved Back to the Future since I was a child. I love and adore Leah Thompson. Everything she's done, even that horrible Howard the Duck movie she did, it was fine. And we go back to that and talk about the horrible Howard the Duck movie. Howard the Duck has become a comic that I actually really enjoy. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, but it's one of those ones that's a bit of a surprise. And Marvel seems to do that for me. They have these comics that I think, I probably won't like them. I give them a try, 1 or 2 issues, and then I go, actually, this is definitely for me. It's got the same kind of tone as Squirrel Girl and Patsy Walker Hellcat, so it is really up my alley. I don't think I'm going to collect individual issues for Howard the Duck, but I might pick up trades, because I think that's how I want to read it, because it seems to work better in trade form. But really, so what's happening in this one is we got Leah Thompson, who is experiencing a bit of missing time that she can't account for. And they keep talking about her on Dancing with the Stars, and Aunt May is like, oh my god, will you sign stuff for me? Because it's like, and everybody knows who she is, and Howard's just like, I don't know who she is, I don't know who Leah Thompson is. And it's like, Howard, really? You're out of touch. Everybody knows who Leah Thompson is. Everybody adores Leah Thompson. So yeah. So we've got her experiencing missing time, not being able to figure out what's going on. And apparently she was in like, she was like kidnapped. And she was in a Howard the Duck program. So what they're trying to say here, kind of metally, is that Howard the Duck movie was Leah Thompson being kidnapped. Which I kind of like. I really like that idea that he was kidnapped. And like there's a fake person playing a duck that kind of looks like Howard, but also looks like really badly makeup. And yeah, and it's aliens. Aliens are kidnapping Leah Thompson to put her on the show with Howard the Duck. Really, you can't make this up. Best part of the whole thing is Leah Thompson kicking butt. Really love that. Just so good, this. And yeah, I won't give away the ending because the ending was quite good, really. But you should definitely check out this issue. It was a great issue. I think this will be a good collector's item later on, just because the whole Leah Thompson, Howard the Duck thing will be forever in history, really. So this issue on its own, for the series Howard Duck, I give it a 4 out of 5, definitely. I really enjoyed this as a read. You should check it out. I wouldn't always put Howard the Duck that highly, but this issue in particular is a really good one. So yeah, so definitely check that out. Okay, next thing we have is Space Battle Lunchtime. That is number 4. Number 4. Those of you who don't know, Space Battle Lunchtime is like MasterChef in space. So, it's great. It is just a great all-age book. Everybody can enjoy this book. It is about an Earthling that gets brought into space to compete in a MasterChef type competition against aliens. She has to use ingredients that she doesn't know what they are and make something. She is a trained baker, so she makes a lot of desserts and stuff. And in this particular issue, she's got to work with one of the other aliens in order to advance forward in the competition. But someone might be trying to sabotage them. Oh no. I think this is a 6-issue series. I believe so. Yeah, I think this is 6 issues, so I think there's 2 more in the series. She also makes friends with the alien, and I won't give away the ending, but it doesn't go very well. But it is a great book, and you should be checking it out, especially when it comes out in trade, because it's going to be ending soon, and you guys should check out the trade, because I think this will be a fun read for most people. So that's Space Battle Lunchtime. I give this a 5 out of 5. I really enjoy Space Battle Lunchtime. I think it's a really unique idea, and it's really fun, and I love the drawing style in it. Everything just looks so fun in it. One of those ones that the aliens just don't look like standard ideas of Earth aliens. They look like anything. They look like cats, they look like lizards, they look like everything you could possibly think of, and it's fun. And the ingredients in it are all usually fun as well. So I definitely check that one out. Okay, next thing we have Squirrel Girl number 11, done in binary, because this one's going to teach you computer science. Great issue of Squirrel Girl. I don't say it enough how much I love Squirrel Girl, but sometimes the issues are good, sometimes they're not so great. This was a really good issue. So this is all in Doreen's head. This is Doreen having a nightmare. Can't remember what the name of the guy is. I think it might actually be Nightmare. Yeah, a villain called Nightmare comes in Doreen's dreams and tries to ruin her that way. It starts off with her in her previous costume fighting Dr. Octopus, which you know something's a little wrong because they're showing the new costume on the front cover. So it's like, what is actually going on here? Took me aback at first, and I was like, this doesn't seem quite right. And then we find out she has been in a nightmare the whole time. And she's got to solve things using computer science. So she fights a number of villains in this one. What was the other guy's name? I cannot remember. Count Nefaria. Count Nefaria, who I'd never heard of before, is in this. And also we have Venom in this as well. So this is a really villain-heavy issue. I really enjoyed it. It's a good run-up to Squirrel Girl's coming new graphic novel, Squirrel Girl Beats Up the Marvel Universe, coming out in October, which I am so excited about and have on pre-order. Oh, can't wait to read that. But yeah, really great issue for Doreen and Squirrel Girl. You should definitely check this one out. Definitely 5 out of 5. This is one of my favorite issues of Squirrel Girl, actually. Just because of the amount of villains involved in it and how she actually solves the problems. And you do learn a little bit of computer science with this, and that is cool. Especially if you're looking for something for kids to read. I think this is an acceptable kids read as well. And it does teach them something, which is useful. So, next one. Last of our issues here, and then we'll move on to trades. We have Patsy Walker, aka Hellcat, number 9. In this issue, Patsy faces off her evil exes, Hellstorm and Mad Dog. So, little bit of Scott Pilgrim-ish in this one, where she's fighting off her evil exes, but she's doing it herself. She doesn't need a man to help her. And Patsy Walker's evil exes are trying to ruin her life. They are working with Hetty to try and expose her as Hellcat, which just doesn't seem fair. Once again, we have some adorable illustrations in Patsy Walker. I just love the way they draw in Patsy Walker. It is so great. It's just so much fun. Not very much, we don't get much of She-Hulk in this one. She-Hulk is still recovering from her coma. I don't think it was mentioned in this one. Yeah, she just literally is in a dream world with it. I'm guessing we'll find out more about that later, but as far as I know, in the Marvel Universe as a whole, She-Hulk is okay. So we're going to see more of that very soon. It says at the end, try clicking your heels, Patsy, because you're a long way from Kansas, but where exactly? Find out in the next issue. And she is with Hellcat. Not Hellcat, She-Hulk. So we'll find out more about that. For guys don't know, I heard that there was a She-Hulk show that's being marketed towards Netflix. I am so excited, and I hope it happens, and I hope Patsy Walker in this kind of incarnation is in it. Not just the Patsy Walker we saw in Jessica Jones. I want a fun Patsy Walker. Give me Hellcat. Come on, give me that style. I'd love to see it. Okay, now we're on to trades and graphic novels. So the first one I showed off in a library book haul, which was Rinse, Spin, Repeat. This is about the tsunami that happened in 2004 and is about one girl's kind of journey to living her life after losing part of her family, and also finding herself after like her injuries and recovering and stuff. It isn't the most excitingly illustrated thing. It is done in like stick figures. It doesn't lose much from doing that. The story is still a very interesting and heartfelt story. And it's kind of interesting to see something that isn't so stylized in a graphic novel. And I quite like the minimalist illustrations in it, because it just kind of gives something to it. You still get what the person's feeling, you still understand the emotions, and it is quite an emotional book. I did really enjoy it. This is a kind of memoir that makes you really sad, but you're really glad after you've read it that you have actually checked it out. So I'd give this one a 4 out of 5. I think this is one that people should check out, and if I hadn't read it from the library, I think this is one I would possibly buy in the future. I might pick it up later on because I did enjoy it, and I think it is really rereadable. So that was Rinse, Spin, and Repeat. Okay, next thing we have, I've been reading She-Hulk. So I've been reading the second trade of She-Hulk. I don't remember when this was done. I think it was 2015, so not too long ago. It's the last run of She-Hulk just before she transferred over to Patsy Walker, and we've got Patsy Walker Hellcat on there as well. So this is called Disorderly Conduct. In this issue we see a lot of Ant-Man, some Daredevil, some Captain America, all the good stuff in there. We've got She-Hulk on some really big cases. Lots of good crossovers in here. I'm still not 100% with the drawing style here. I do really prefer how both characters are drawn in Patsy Walker Hellcat, but it doesn't take away too much from it. I do enjoy the story. I think it's fun. I just wish it was a different illustration style, because it's just not for me, really. I still enjoy the characters. I still think it's a lot of fun, but it's just not the thing So yeah, so it's not necessarily the style I would go for. It does have some highlights. I think the things with the blue file at the back are really kind of an interesting bit to check out, and I thought I'd like to know more about that. I'm not sure if there's any more in that in like the rest of the Marvel universe, but I'm trying to check that out because I'm trying to get more involved in like Marvel history. If anybody has any good books on Marvel history for me to check out and kind of get an overview, that'd be great. I've been trying to pick out YouTube videos on it, but haven't had much luck yet. Okay, so the next one we have is When Anxiety Attacks. This is one I picked up in London. I think it was from Gosh Comics. No, maybe it wasn't from Gosh Comics. No, it was Orbital Comics, actually. So we've got the tag on here. When was the last time you called your grandmother? Seeking out therapy, even when we were promising weird or silly. And this is just one woman's journey to deciding whether or not that she needs therapy. Interesting book. Different book from what I'm used to. I do really enjoy the illustration style. Bits of it do remind me of Liz Prince quite a lot. And I've always liked Lynn Prince's illustration style, not necessarily what she writes, but her illustration style is pretty good. But I thought this was interesting, and it kind of makes sense a lot of the way with how this person is feeling and depression in general. So this is a good one. If you don't know what anxiety is like or depression is like, this is a good description actually. It's a very thin book. It's not huge. I'm just reading the back. Have you paid your Spaceballs yet this month? Spaceballs last month. This is so funny. Okay. So, distraction. But yeah, this is a good book. I think it was worth buying. I probably would have preferred to get it from the library actually, because I'm not sure it's one I'm going to reread a lot, but I'm glad I did read it. I give this probably a 3 out of 5. I mean, it's worth checking out if you come in contact with it, but because it's such a short book, I'm not sure it was worth how much I paid for it. Which I don't know how much I did, but enough. Okay, so now we got another trade paperback. We're back to Marvel, and we are looking at The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl and The Great Lakes Avengers. I really thought this was the weirdest Marvel book I ever read. This is a complete departure from what I normally read. I've been excited to read about the Great Lakes Avengers for a while now. I remember reading about Wikipedia about them and trying to figure out some things. I'm looking forward to the new Great Lakes Avengers that comes out in October, and definitely will be picking that up because I've already got it on pre-order. For those of you that don't know, the Great Lakes Avengers are really bad superheroes. They are like the worst superheroes ever, and Squirrel Girl was part of their team for a while. They are just superheroes that don't seem to accomplish very much. They do try. They try really hard, and they have a lot of heart in it, but they don't accomplish much. And this was kind of, I think this was the 90s. Yeah, the 90s. 90s, and then we have some into 2000s as well. So the gist with the Great Lakes Avengers is that in the original comics, there were 4 of them, and what they had happened was within those 4 issues, they killed off a character every issue. And some of them were really, really horrific deaths. There is a character in here I'll call Mr. Immortal, which dies pretty much every couple pages, and it is quite depressing in places. We also have Squirrel Girl's beginning story with Iron Man at the beginning, which has been in some of the other trades as well. I think it was in her first trade as well. And then we've also got Doorman, who his power is that he can make a door out of anything. So if he stands in front of a wall, it's automatically a door. And then we've also got Flatman, who is a man that is flat. People often confuse him with Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four, but he is not. And then we have Grasshopper, who every time gets killed really quickly. Not to give too much away. Squirrel Girl has a previous companion called Monkey Joe. Doesn't last very long in here. And then we just have revisits to them. The Great Lakes Avengers, oh, my favorite Great Lakes Avengers is Big Bertha, who is a woman that can actually increase her weight or decrease it. Usually by throwing up. See, this is not an all-age comic at all. And Deadpool finds her very, very attractive. So Deadpool is part of this team as well. So if you want some early Deadpool, you can check that out as well. I thought this book is really weird, and I'm not really sure where to rate it because I wanted to read this really badly. And it is just so morbid. It is more morbid than any other comic I've ever read. Because literally Mr. Incredible is dying and like depressed all the time, and it's so, oh, Mr. not Incredible, Immortal is depressed all the time and always dying. It is really, really hard to read bits of this. I mean, Squirrel Girl does make it for me, and there are some bits in here that I just find brilliant, but there are also some bits in here that are just like the most depressing things you've ever read. So it is a really hard one to rate. I'd like to give it higher, because I did actually enjoy reading it, but because of how morbid it is and how hard it is to actually get through, I would give this a 3 out of 5. I think the characters are some of the weirdest characters in the Marvel Universe, and for that reason, they should be read and checked out because it is so weird, and I think I'm going to enjoy the new version of the Great Lakes Avengers because I think it's going to be more lighthearted than this one is in October. but this one was so depressing in places. Yeah, so just be aware of that if you're going to read it. I mean, there are some really funny bits in here as well, but it is really an adult comic. And I'm not kidding, adult comic. Do not give this to children, ever. You know, Squirrel Girl looking all nice on the cover there, all happy? This is not for children at all. So yeah, definitely a 3 out of 5. Check it out if you get time. I think it's an interesting introduction to the character. You learn a lot about Squirrel Girl and where she came from and her kind of beginning. So in that way, it's really useful. Okay, 2 more. Then we're done. Okay, so next one we have is I'm going to say this wrong, Algorithm. This one I've been waiting to read for a very long time. I checked this out when I was first interested in graphic novels, and I really enjoy the style. When I first picked it up, when I got it, I thought, oh yep, this is perfect. This is a Scott Pilgrim-like book. And it's nice enough. I was very disappointed with the ending. It was not what I was hoping for. I just kind of thought it would just kind of like end. It's about a relationship, and I thought it would just kind of end on like a happy note. But it didn't quite get there for me. There's some really difficult things in it as well, and it doesn't look that way from the cover. But there are some really difficult things in this book as well, which I respect, and I think is a nice place to come from. This is a webcomic as well, so it might be worth checking out the webcomic, see if you like the style or not. But I don't think it was a bad read. I'm glad I bought it, because I think I would want to read it again. But I do think there are places where it's not the comic I thought it was going to be. But you should definitely check it out. It is about a relationship. It reminds me a lot of 50 First Dates. Oh, not 50 First Dates. No, that's not the right one. 500 Days of Summer. That's the right one. It reminds me of 500 Days of Summer. So if you like that movie, I like that movie, I think you'll like this quite a lot. It does have that Scott Pilgrim-esque thing going for it as well. The main character feels like Scott Pilgrim, which is good. And it's got a similar illustration style, so if you like that, you'll probably like this a lot. But yeah, if you like 500 Days of Summer, you'll probably like this book quite a lot. I definitely give this 4 out of 5. Yeah, 4 out of 5, quite easily. Really enjoyed it. Quite good. Good fun. Okay, and then the last one we have is Friends with Boys. I wasn't thinking, I'll just show you the other side as well, because there's like upside down people on there. We got this hand in the back. I wasn't thinking this was going to be a book I really enjoyed, but I did really enjoy it. I did like this one quite a lot. I thought there was a lot of interesting things in it. I pretty much love how all the characters are drawn. There's like a punk girl in it, and I just love how she is drawn, and our main character is adorable. Maggie is just so cute. All her brothers are really well drawn and well defined. They all look just slightly different enough. There's no one that looks the same in this book, and I really enjoyed that drawing style. I'm definitely going to be checking out Faith Erin Hicks' other books. I've already got a couple on my list already, which I didn't realize that I want to check out. And there was, I think, some other things of hers I bought that I hadn't realized were her, so I'm very much looking forward to checking them out as well. So the gist is, Maggie has always been homeschooled, but her mother has just left because she can't be with the family anymore, and she's used to just being around her brothers all the time, and she's going to high school for the first time and making her first friend. She's also being haunted by a ghost, which is another thing going on, and it really is about her friendship building outside of her family, but with her family as well, and it is a great little book. I really enjoyed this one. I really cared about the characters. I mean, the ghost story bit is okay, I guess. I mean, that bit you could kind of lose and you still get a similar book, but I do think it does help the book a little bit, because it just means there's another part of this girl's personality, really, and there's just something else for her to kind of do. But I thought it was a fun read. I definitely give this a 5 out of 5. It's my favorite book of the ones I got for trade paperbacks, definitely. So that's Friends with Boys. So that is all of them. All 19 books. Oh my god, that was so many books. So, if you sat through this whole video, congratulations, you made it. Please subscribe to my channel and check out any other book reviews I have. I'm trying to stay on top, guys, but you know how it is. You forget to do a couple and then suddenly you're way behind. So definitely check out my other book reviews and my other comic hauls. And let me know what you thought of these. Are there any highlights for you? Any of them that you want to pick up now? Any of them that you want to check out? Any of them that you hate? Did you hate Marvel Tsum Tsums as well? Because I surely did. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you later. Bye-bye. Hi, guys. Just a quick message from Mel. Please go to Colossal Crates, Twitter, and vote for my theme, Binge-Worthy TV, for lots of cool Netflix items in their November crate. And also, enter my giveaways. The links are below. One's running till we get to 500 subscribers. The other one's running till the end of September. You got plenty of time. Woo!